Is everybody here? is everybody here? All right. As acting chair of the Ham Radio Clubhouse, I call this meeting into order. Tonight is a special meeting. I need to know, do we have quorum? Could somebody check if we have quorum tonight? I think we do. Yeah, we do. Okay, thank you. All right. So tonight's meeting is unfortunately a special disciplinary meeting. Tonight we are going to be discussing some complaints that have come up against 5 members of this club, unfortunately. We have allegations against Kilo Oscar 4 Alpha Foxtrot Lima, Whiskey 1 Foxtrot Yankee Golf, Kilo 5 Quebec Bravo Foxtrot, Kilo 5 Yankee Victor Yankee, and Kilo Delta 2 Foxtrot Mike Whiskey. So at this point, in public, in the chat, if you have any grievances or additional complaints that you wish to launch against these gentlemen here, I'd like for you to put them in there, and we will discuss those in depth before we go on to disciplinary action. So please, at this moment, put in your complaints into the live chat, and we'll see what's going on here. All right. What's that? Point of order? Cool. What's that? I'm not the acting chair. Well, I locked them out, so they can't do anything about it. Well, it's tough luck. So let's see what they say. What's going on here? Yes. Kilo 0 Hotel Oscar. Brian, yes. All rise. Judge Molson is in the house here. Straight to sentencing. DQ Blizzard. No, we don't have that. Hiking and Hamming says, shouldn't Molson be wearing a black robe and a powdered wig? Can somebody please remove Smoke Signals RF? He shouldn't be here. This is a conflict of interest for him to be here. Molson is the hizzy tonight. Oh my goodness. Joseph V3GKT. I did quit the clubhouse, but I'm taking over tonight. I'm hijacking it. What are the charges? Well, that's what I'm I don't really have charges. I'm asking you guys to give me out charges. They don't bring me blizzards. That's the first one. All right, guys. So obviously this is a joke. Haha. It's a poor one. But we have tonight, we have Steve, we have Izzo, we have Joe Brett, and we have myself on the clubhouse. And guys, thanks for letting me on tonight.
Oh, you're welcome anytime, brother. What's going on?
Not much. I heard the yeah, right. Look at innocent. That face. That's not an innocent face.
No. Nobody said you were innocent. We just said you were not guilty.
Bread and water.
What is it, like plead no contest or something like that? That's what it is.
No low contende. Yeah.
Joe Brett, you look sharp. Did you get a new camera?
Well, interesting. I didn't get a new camera, but I got a new lens. And then I broke the factory lens. Dropping it on the floor. Ooh. It rattles now, and it does not recognize the camera don't. So I'm stuck with that, but I did get a backup. I can. Never mind. The button don't work.
It's nice and sharp.
Molson, you know what happened? You know when a guy says, man, you got a nice pair of jeans, nice pair of shoes, nice radio, antenna, where'd you get it? And then 2 days later, we get it. That's exactly what happened with Joe Brett last week. He saw the guy, he saw our guest, and Joe Brett was smitten by that filter, the lens, whatever that contraption is. And I'll bet you Amazon or Watch Shoe or whatever had that thing delivered to his house by Thursday.
Yeah, 2 days later.
Yes.
It was
2 days later.
It was here.
It came out the overnight delivery.
And I was so focused on the f-stop, right? I was like a f1.6 as low as this one go. Don't know what it's set to now because it's in a corner. I can't see it. But I wasn't paying attention to the zoom level. And this is what you get with 35 millimeter, and I had to push it back as far as I could. So
it looks good.
Y'all were more accustomed to like a wide angle like this.
Yeah.
I don't like that one as much. So.
Oh, the other one looks good. There you go. So I heard, guys, I got a pigeon on my front porch this morning with some Lizzo. And on the tail had a little wrap that it said,
Some things never change. He just lost his internet. God darn it. Look at him.
are you serious? Did I lose my
Well,
internet?
There
You're
you
back
go.
now.
No, you're better.
I cut off your echo cancellation. I think that was it.
So what did you hear? Because I was talking about how I got a pigeon on my porch this morning.
I heard a pigeon on the porch, and then Charlie Brown started talking about it.
Sort of like 3 pigeons go into a bar. This is a joke, right? A pigeon, a dove, and a crow go into a bar. Okay, start. So keep on going.
I'm afraid my internet's gonna cut out.
Didn't you tell the kids tonight's a special night? Stay off the Wi-Fi or the Wii.
Hold on. Let me send a
Get off
message to all the
Netflix.
kids.
Stick that microphone closer to that beard.
See, some things never change. I love it. Some things will never change. We may get a little grayer, but guess what?
Dear kids, spend this time ceasing from using the internet and go fetch
Read a
me
book.
a DQ Blizzard.
Yeah. Back in my day, when we didn't have this internet stuff, we read a book.
Mm-hmm.
We read the Hardy Boys.
Man, I went outside and played in the dirt or something.
I was gonna say I was the TV remote.
Hardy Boys was where was that?
Yes.
It was, man.
Mm-hmm.
That in the Sears
Hardy
catalog.
Boys, Boys Life from the Scouts.
If you know, you know.
Not touching that one.
Hardy Boys was sort of like, I think they were the prequel to, or pre-NyQuil, whatever you call that stuff, to, excuse me, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Because they always found themselves volunteering to solve the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says to move my mic. Move it closer or move it further?
Yeah.
Yeah, move it closer.
Put it closer to your mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that? Is that better?
There you
It's
go.
better.
Goodness, it's been too long, guys. I don't even have my board set up for microphone.
Ah,
So.
that's the problem.
It is, that stupid boom mic that always fell. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, guys, so what have you guys been up to, man? So I catch a couple episodes here and there, and
You ain't missed much.
check in once in a while. No. See, that's half. That's half the. I got emails saying, "Hey, I need you back on the Clubhouse."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
These guys
Gotta
need
keep it
help.
going. Yeah. We're drowning.
Yeah. From Bobby Joe Ham from Sealand.com. Okay, sure. I believe it.
Oh, that was that email that came into the Clubhouse email? Okay.
Yeah, I was driving the other day, and I was like, "Man, somehow we got to coordinate a trip to go to Sealand, like a surprise trip. All of a sudden, it's like we're on Sealand activating. We'll bring the Cartena Aries, hang it off the side of the platform, and we'll just call CQ.
You know what I want
That's
to
what I
do? Guys, let's not overthink it. It's a helicopter ride, correct? It's a helicopter. We stuff our fat butts in there. We take a couple radios. We got to take that brand new Nuggets coffee and ham radios tumbler, that periwinkle pink color, whatever it is.
No. If you're gonna do it, you go with the black one.
You got to bring the other one, but that's the one we leave in the galley. We leave that.
Oh.
We leave the periwinkle pink one in the galley.
I'm an OG kind of guy.
The blue.
Ah, look
The
at
blue.
that.
Is this our porter potty selection, or what is this? Sorry, just
Hey, when
Look
you
at
fill
this.
it with paper towels, it works out well.
If that's not a classic, I don't know what is.
I was gonna say the OG ATA cup.
The OG on Wednesday nights, remember? And then of course
Yep.
we slapped the Smoke Signals RF sticker on it. But you guys remember Wednesday night? Steve ruled Wednesday night.
Yes, he did.
He ruled it. It was great.
What did they do?
Steve.
And
Steve
what
Good
was
game.
the term he used for the Utes?
The Padawan.
Padawans. That's what it was.
Padawans, that's it.
See, I
That's right.
remember.
I was
I was-
racking my brain the other day trying to remember what he called them.
Are you guys going to Dayton next week? It's next week, right? Or is it the weekend after?
Weekend
It's after Mother's
after
Day, isn't it?
18th,
Yeah.
17th,
Hang on, I gotta
18th,
take this
19th.
So I still haven't decided if I'm going. Probably not. I want to go to Huntsville this year, and work's pretty busy, so I'm thinking about going to Huntsville. Although things can change very quickly. On Friday, did I tell you guys? On Friday, I was.
No, you haven't told us anything. Don't start a conversation with that. I swear to God,
So
I'm gonna hit him.
Last weekend was like a beaver fest, which is where they roast beaver. And so I was going to
As
drive.
compared to raccoons and opossums, or are we talking about something else?
So I was like, I want to go try this. So Friday after work, I get home at like 4:30. I call my son, my oldest son. I said, "You want to go?" He goes, "Yeah, I do." But he was in the fields, at the farm where he works. He was plowing the fields, and so he says, "You got to wait a little bit. I'll be done in an hour." But he says, "I'm coming." So like an hour and 20 minutes later, I call him. I said, "You coming?" He goes, Yeah, I'm coming. I'm almost done." 20 minutes later, he calls me. He goes, "I don't think I should go." So I decided to leave by myself. I left at 7 o'clock, and it's a 9-hour drive, something like that. So I was like, and as I'm driving, I get an hour away, and I'm like doing the math. I'm like, I'll get there at, what time, 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. And 2, 3 in the morning. And then I'm thinking about the moose, right? The last 2 hours, I'm like, I don't want to hit a moose on the way up in the middle of the night. So I said, screw it. I decided to turn around. But, it just shows you that I remember when I was like 20 years old, man. I went one time with an ex. We drove 14 hours to go see her friend. Drove 14 hours, slept over, drove right back 14 hours. Like no sleep, right? 20 years old, 19 years old. Now, forget it. I thought I was going to be able to make it till 2, 3 in the morning. I got back an hour later. I was asleep on the couch. I can't do it anymore. And the worst part was what threw it over the edge was my wife called me when I was in Ottawa, about an hour away, and she goes, "Oh, by the way, you have to be back Sunday by lunchtime." And then I'm doing the math. I'm like, I get like negative 4 hours of sleep over the weekend. Nope, cancel. Moose Fest make Beaver Fest look like a sausage fest. I had moose stew and moose the other week. It was really good. Really good. Actually,
let me guess. The beaver is probably a little. Is it like is a little bit more gamier?
I never had it. That's why I wanted to go. They look like giant. If you Google beaver roast, and they look like massive. They look like massive rats hanging over a fire. It's pretty nasty, but I wanted to try it. I'll try anything once. And hold on a second. I'll be right back. I got something for all of. We talk about Canadian geese. Hold on a second.
Can't wait. Jesus.
Hey, Joe Brett. He hasn't been here for months. You think he would have been prepared tonight?
I mean, he gets talking about beavers and moose and salt. That story was wild.
I was enthralled. Hey, listen, while he's doing his thing, I want to say it was fun working with you. It was hard. Band conditions were rough, but that was at least you're in the log.
Man, yeah. I was working from home today, and they were kind enough to give us 10, 15-minute breaks every hour. And I saw you popping up on my ham alert, so I slipped out here and during the break made a contact with you. That was good.
I didn't know if you were at work and in the company truck or the company, and hang on, let me put the fishing pole down. Let me quickly go put an antenna up. All right, what's he got? Look at this. He's got a bag. The bag of tricks.
For all those who have been hurt by a Canadian geese, I introduce you to Billy Bob. This is.
Oh, he's frozen. You hit him.
Geese. No, my buddy was down and he's like, "I'm coming geese hunting." I'm like, "Get me a bird." So he got me one, and I have one. So that's for
Nice.
all of you who have been attacked.
Have you had
and
them
dealt with
before?
No, I haven't. Supposedly the breasts are great, and then the rest you're better to make beef jerky with it or something, or jerky, duck or goose jerky. So, yeah. So, I was happy to get it. So, got to figure out. My friend's wife wants to make jambalaya or something like that.
Your buddy Joseph is here.
look, Joseph. You know this thing is like.
It's a
Rock
Canadian
solid.
thing, Joseph.
It can
You should-
last
Joseph,
2
you
minutes,
know
okay,
it.
outside of the freezer. I know Joseph still lives at home with his mom, and she cooks all his meals. But, you know, when something's in a freezer for a couple of weeks there, like, you can leave it out for 5 minutes, okay? So, listen.
Ma, what's for dinner tonight?
Yeah. Mommy, I'm hungry. We just
Ma,
ate supper.
I'm hungry.
Hey, by the way, so speaking of amateur radio, so many divisive things in amateur radio these days. I love it. It just fuels the anger and the ranting material. Man, you guys.
What's your state bird,
you guys-
Molson?
you guys
Molson,
aren't
what's your
even
state
talking.
bird?
This is so depressing, huh?
No, I got a lot of questions, but I'm letting the chat do it all. What's your state bird?
I
Do
don't
you know?
No.
You know what your state bird is?
Do we have a state bird? Joseph,
I don't know.
GKT. he knows everything. What's our Ontario provincial bird? So,
Go to the Google.
Provincial bird.
yeah, we don't have states. We have provinces. It's
That's
the
right.
loon. You guys
The
ever hear
loon.
loons?
A what?
Those things
Loon.
are all beautiful.
Like wire loom.
Saloon?
Loon.
Huh.
This is English 101 with Molson. The loon. No. But yeah, anyway, so hey, you know what our amateur our club did the other week? This is cool. So we have this
What'd you
big canoe race that happens around our area, like 300 participants, and it goes down a river. And so our club was at checkpoints along the way because the fire department and the police and the paramedics do not have good reception of their radios through that area. And so we were asked to help out with that. And that was really cool. We had 12 checkpoints. It was like 30 kilometers long, something like that. And it was lots of fun. It was really cool to do. You know, I have to be honest with you. There are some elements of it where it makes me go, what are we doing here? But at the end of the day, the opportunity to hang out with people in the club and to operate and to sort of do a simulation was pretty cool. That was awesome. So,
First and foremost, Vern, thank you. But however, he's sneaking in a private message. So
okay, somebody get me his number. So,
but more importantly,
555.
867-5309. Yeah.
yeah, no, but it was, you know, it's
Call for a
okay.
good time.
So it's funny because, like, I'll be honest with you, because you know the whole ham radio service versus hobby, it was fun, but part of me kind of felt like, do we look like a bunch of grown men wearing vests and wanting to look like we're something official? You know, like
Wannabes, yeah.
At the end of the day, we were able to communicate more efficiently than the fire department and the paramedic service. That's for sure. And we had somebody in each one of those vehicles. They're like, but when the fire department takes off without the radio guy, it's like, do you value, you know, the service that they're providing, or like
That's like Kyle. That's like Kyle leaving his battery at home. Now what are we gonna do?
No, but it's like, don't tell, like, it makes you question, like, when they're willing. I think it happened twice, you know, they just take off and leave the radio guy. They're like, oh, we'll be right back, and then they go. And so it's kind of like, you know, if you don't see the importance of it, so why should we, you know? And then part of me, because we were at 12 checkpoints, I hope nobody in my club gets mad I'm talking about this, but because we're at 12 checkpoints, none of us saw any of the organizers of the race there. So, and we were getting people coming up to us asking all kinds of questions because they wanted us to wear a high vis, vest, and we have radios and we look all official, and then we're told don't do anything besides for communicate emergencies. I'm like, well, when people are coming up to you in their emergency, like I pull out of the race halfway through. How do I get back to my vehicle? That's their emergency, right? And so, so when nobody else is there, what do I do? Get in my car and take off and abandon them, And so, but like, my question was, do they utilize us to alleviate the responsibility of properly manning if we're just another group of people, like if we're more volunteers at each checkpoint, are they sort of utilizing us to, remove that responsibility of having somebody official there? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so and yeah, you can consider I'm sort of like maybe not accusing, but that they took it. Maybe there's some taking advantage of that without being
overstep.
Well, without being straight like outright saying we want you to be there to represent the club. You know what I mean? It's a little underhanded. But that's how I felt because we had a lot of people coming to us, and you want to help them out. They're part of the race. And yeah. Dude, there was one guy there's like a dam, and there's there's it's not like a hydro dam, but it's like it's those I don't know how to, it's a dam, okay? And then there's a chute on the side. And so the canoes or the kayaks, they could take the chute, but if you go over the dam part, like you're going to get stuck into the water. And so I had changed my checkpoint, and this guy, he's coming to the chute, and there's a woman coming to the chute, and he decides to be all gentlemanly. He's like back paddling on his kayak, and he's like, "Oh, go ahead." And she's like, "No, you go." He's like, "I insist." And he's just doing this, and they're arguing back and forth, and I'm standing at the edge. I'm like, "Dude, just go. You're going in front of the chute, like in front of the dam, right?" And he's like, "No, mind your own business." And then next thing you know, he's like, when your like attention goes here, and he turns, and he's like, and his face was like death over his face, and then he starts going back faster and faster, and he looks at me, he's like, "Can't do it." I'm like, "What do you want me to do? Jump in?" So the fire department's there with a rope across the dam. It's maybe about 3 foot difference in elevation, or 4 feet. But when he goes over in his kayak, like that's that's a pretty good equation to die there. And so I like yelled over to the fire department. He's going over, and one of the firemen, and he looks over. He's like, "Oh shit!" They lower it, so they lower the rope, and the guy's there, like, and so when he went over, it churned him sideways, and the water's coming over him, and they lower the rope to him with like the life preserver, and so they draped it across so that they can control it down to him. And so finally they're yelling, "Grab it!" He grabs it, and then they're trying to pull him, but he's trying to save his kayak, and his kayak is full of water.
Save the kayak!
Right?
Save the kayak!
It's got like 250 pounds of water in it, and you have this rope stretched about 60 feet across, and the fire department's trying to pull it. He's trying to hold onto the rope and trying to pull the kayak, and they took forever to be like, "Let go of the kayak." Meanwhile, his face is like underwater like this. Anyways, and then
I would have had, if that was me, I'm thinking reality show and a lot of money, and you should have been GoPro'd up, microphoned up. We should have had a crew on the, over by the water, over by another crew by the dam. That would have been a reality show right there. We could have made a lot of money, Molson.
So one of the things for me and I can't get a straight answer about this. So obviously afterwards, I'm like, what's the deal? Like I'm trying to ask how beneficial was it to have the club there? And so that was a great situation to test that. Because when he went over, like going over the wrong side of the falls, like the chute, people went over the chute and then they got flooded and whatever. But when you're in that, I don't know if it's eddy current, I forget what it is, but when you're in that current and it's like beating on you, it was freezing cold, maybe 2 degrees Celsius, raining. These people have been kayaking for about 18 kilometers. So they're tired, they're cold, they're wet. And then he's fighting physically to get out of this situation. And so when I saw what was happening, well, I had advised the fire department, and then right away, as I watched him, I could see him struggling. So I called our net controller and said, I advise you send the medical team this way, because I could tell that he wasn't normal in his fight in the water. It's like he had given up. And so I just said, because I didn't get a directive from anybody, not that I know if anybody knew to tell us what to get there, but I just took it upon myself. I said, I strongly suggest you send medical this way. And so the medical team, from what I understand, was not far, and they heard it over the radio. And then they were there within minutes. And the gentleman was in, like when they finally got him to the edge of the shoreline, he was on his back in the water for about, I'd say 5 to 7 minutes, which is not good because of hypothermia. They had a hard time getting him out of the water. He couldn't walk. He was on his back. He couldn't move. They ended up taking him to the hospital. But so in that situation, I was like, I asked, hey, did the medical team get that warning? Did they show up because of that warning, right? Or were they there, or did it come from the fire department? How did we benefit that emergency situation? And so it'd be interesting if they could kind of backtrack it, or the radio guy who was there in that truck can sort of be like, yeah, so when we heard you calling, we got out right away and came over. Those are the things that make you leave and go, okay, we did something to help out here, I didn't say no.
You like that comment, don't you? Hey, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something a little serious when you're done. No, finish.
No, just for me, it's like, okay, we have all heard the Jason from 2.0. He had a video out. I don't know if it just came out today, but I watched it today.
Yeah,
about how there was a family in was it Yellowstone?
Death Valley.
Death Valley. They were in Death Valley. Their car broke down in the mud or something, and he used 10 meters. Really cool story. He was on 10 meters. A guy in Ohio overheard it, but it was in the noise. So then he went on Facebook page. I'm cutting out here. He went on Facebook, said, guys, I can barely hear him, but tune in your radios. And then people in the POTA Facebook page heard the distress call, made the contact, right? So we hear about these situations. And then at the same time, we kind of roll our eyes at the imitation, like the vests and all, official. Mm-hmm. And so, I'm a skeptic, right? It was a fun activity, but don't pander me. Don't make some story, how we're beneficial. Were we beneficial? And that's a good situation to test it and to know, hey, how was that information passed on? Because I don't know. Otherwise, as a 40-year-old man standing on the side of a bridge with a yellow high-vis and radios hanging off of him, I either look like I'm doing something or I look like a loser, like a poser, right? Really. Look at this guy with his radios wanting to be so,
come on.
It's,
don't make us choose. Don't make us choose one right now. We're having a good time. Don't make us choose.
But it's true.
It is true. No, I fully get it. Listen, you can relate to this. It was the late 90s, early 2000s. One of our sitting presidents comes into our area because his kids are graduating from one of the big universities. We lived next to literally the backside of the airport, which was a very small, regional at best airport. They flew Air Force One in, and a couple days prior to that, they brought in all these, I don't know, C-130s, C-140s, mm-hmm. 222, whatever they are.
The big boys.
And it rocked the big boys with the big belly that opens up. And all this stuff comes out, all the toys, all our tax dollars. Okay? So we get the call that says, we want perimeter assistance. And I'm like, perimeter assistance? Well, wear your high visible vest, just Molson, just like you were saying. We're all going to work on this radio frequency. And You're going to get a T-shirt at the end.
Audio.
There he is. Wait, time out on my story.
I hear the generator running in the background.
You went down to the pharmacy. And paid the electric bill. Minimal amount.
Right.
Minimal due. That always works.
Scrounge up some gift cards I had left over.
I'll be back.
You're supposed to do that on Tuesday morning.
I gotta go put this bird in the freezer before Joseph gets his mom to call me and
Joseph's going to get really
Hold on.
Providence Police going to pull up. You put that bird back in the freezer.
Yeah. Game and Wildlife is going to be at his door and to do a household inspection. So getting back to the store, just like the old, hey guys, this is just like the old disco, our old days. So they rope you in by saying you're going to get a T-shirt, something about the T-shirt. Guys who don't do this stuff, you tell them that they're going to get a sandwich and a small bag of chips and a soda, and they're going to get a T-shirt. Ropes everybody in. I don't know
Only if they're barbecue potato chips.
No barbecue potato chips, but yes, they were. We had to do perimeter, and I'm saying to myself, why the heck are we doing the perimeter? It's like putting a traffic cone on the highway. If somebody wants to do something, and what are we going to do?
They need
really. That's Secret Service is the best perimeter, whether it's in the hot zone, medium zone, or cold zone. Let them handle all that stuff. What do you need a bunch of ham radio operators? But it was that free T-shirt that got everybody in.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it is it. The reality is when you have another 12 people that are or 14 or 20 that are part of the team. It alleviates the burden of making sure you have sufficient oversight. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like schools with teachers. It's one teacher per 30 kids, or one adult per whatever it is in the classrooms. You know the ratio. You have a public event. You know you're not going to have it off 5 people. So hey, we need amateur radio guys, and you know.
But we were not even allowed to have anybody in the command. Wait, hold on. We were not even allowed to have anybody in the command post. Was your liaison in a command post?
You know, so that's the other thing. And then yes, we had. So, anyways, no, but the reality
did he have his J pole? Did he have his J pole or his signal?
No. We had a net controller really close to the end line where the race organizers were, and when there was an issue, there was communication that happened. But I just lost my train of thought, man. That's the problem with being 40 years old, man. I'm losing my mind. Yeah. Keep going.
So you have management there inside or near the command post to relay any important information. I have been there one time, and my boys in Middletown will tell you we were at a major firework event. This is the day when you used to pop in this USB AT&T thing that would give you cellular internet on your laptop. Remember this stuff, Steve?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm watching the National Weather Service site, and I'm telling them, guys, there's a storm coming. There is a storm coming. I told the EM director, I'm not telling you what to do, but I brought him over and I said, look at this. Here's the path. Here's the project from the National Weather. This is not Don Izzo's forecast. This is NWS's. Mm-hmm. They did nothing. Whatever. Walked away. 30 minutes, the guys on the barge almost took a hit, a lightning strike on the barge with all the fireworks. The running joke to this day, 20 years later, is where the heck is Izzo? I relayed the message. The powers to be didn't think it was going to be important. My job is done. I'm not here to I have no authority.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Just passing the information.
So Izzo, that brings back to, so if you don't have a net control or some level of integration that's happening, then I think that what's often done is it's justified by the PR, right? Like, it's a great exposure for the club, and so then it becomes a PR versus actually being beneficial to the organization. And I would argue that having a bunch of grown men with high vis things. Hey, listen, I've been there. I've looked at it. I roll my eye. I roll my eyes at the auxiliary police. Okay, like you know what I mean? It's like you got no gun. Like, what are you gonna do, right? So, like, here in Canada. So I know you guys in the States, whatever, but
We all have
it's
guns.
exactly. But
What?
here in Canada, the auxiliary police for those types of events typically don't have firearms, right? So they're just high vis vests, so it's poser cops.
I go back to
Right.
a traffic cone sitting on a highway. You're just a traffic cone sitting on a highway, and what are you going to do? You know?
Yeah. So whatever. But I have to say it was a great, like, take aside that negative part or that questioning that I have. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm not saying it wasn't fun. I just don't play me along pretending like we're saving the world. So
Because I said afterwards, what would have happened if something happened to the president that day? Can you imagine the debriefing? Oh, well, we had 100 people there, including ham radio operators protecting the president. Get out of here. We're not protecting
could you imagine you guys are calling to like an inquiry? It's like they're like, it was the ham radio guys. They didn't say anything. Oh no, there's guys in Ohio who knew what was going on. You guys just don't listen to the frequency, you know? Like,
right. We were all on 10 meters telling you what was going down, but you didn't want to listen.
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
You guys see
So
Dave
also-
Minster's? I don't want to. Go ahead.
No. Good. Keep on going, brother.
Well, Dave Minster put out so I asked Steve to take a screenshot for me of the editorial or from Dave Minster and QST, and I thought it was good. He talks about the I'm not going to use that word. It's not politically correct. Well, I'll say the assholes and on Facebook and other chat groups, and I thought it was good. I think that it was a
Okay.
But what I don't agree with is his dislike of criticism. Like what was it? He said something about the criticism towards the ARL, and it's like you put yourself on that pedestal to be criticized. Like, that is your job. Like, your members are paying members. ARL is accountable to the members, so critiquing them and questioning them is within their right. Right, so
And
you
that's in
can't
the
sign-
May QST, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agreed with part of it, where it was like, the a-holes and the naysayers about ham radio who are, like, when you look at the rants about on QRZ about Kyle's video. I tell you, it's one thing to do. It's one thing to do a video and get drowned with comments. It's another thing when you're 4'2" and you get drowned in comments. But
Listen.
So-
Is it anything different about 2 weeks ago talking about the QR peers? I thought it was hilarious.
yeah,
It was what Abe did was funny. This is the problem, and it's getting worse. If we can't laugh, that's a problem. That is, and as well as the other problem. And I don't want to take. And this is not a Molson rant. This guy does the rant. If you want to say I don't like this, or I think we should do, then guess what? Bring solutions to the table. Don't just be the one that says I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. Guess what? Be a man. Step up and bring solutions and get involved. Just don't pay your what I'm not sure what it is right now, $49 a year, and call it a day. There's more than that. There's just more, come on, step up.
yeah. But that's nonsense. I understand the sentiment of that. We hear it all the time, but you don't like the way that your politicians represent you. Get involved. What can I do? Like, what can I do?
Run.
Right?
Run.
No.
Run.
Yeah, but that'll work out in 8 years when somebody, buys me off and pays all my bills. But in the meantime, no, but it's true. in the meantime,
You get it.
like that,
you get a brand new Zamboni out of this. Come on.
Mhm.
you know,
You get a
So,
whole. You get
I'm
brand new
just reading a
cows.
comment.
You'll get all. You'll get all new cows.
Daniel,
Well,
I think we have a message from Kyle for you.
Oh gosh. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Listen, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Well,
I'm sorry.
You want me
buddy.
to play it? You want me to play it? It's
ahead.
recorded.
Go ahead.
Let's see.
when are we ever
here.
going to hold back? Why would we hold back now?
Oh, damn.
Ah.
Damn.
Oh, like no.
Kyle?
Hold on.
Damn.
Pause. If you got to go back to the beginning, because if I have to hear what he says about me, you have to hear what I say to him. Okay, go.
All right.
Go ahead.
Shots fired.
Ready?
Hey, Kyle, how many phone books you got underneath you right now?
Oh, damn.
Ah.
Damn.
That was the Kyle?
Damn.
That should have gone to
Really?
Jason.
Molson, I'm going to save all this shit up and I'm going to get you good.
Kyle.
I am going to unleash the effing fury on you like you're not going to believe.
Oh,
So yeah, hopefully they keep the borders locked for a while.
Yeah, you better be glad that damn border's locked because I'm going to come up and hunt your ass down and I'm going to stuff you all the way into your mother's ass. So far, you're not going to be able to see the daylight for at least a week.
You know,
Kyle,
Kyle, you know what
Kyle,
the worst part is, Kyle, the worst part is all I see is this little, like a 3-year-old doing this. Like,
Kyle's playing Pulp Fiction. Keep it going, Kyle. Keep the Pulp
This
Fiction going. Keep it going.
Kyle's really enjoying not being on his own channel tonight.
oh,
See,
that is a classic.
Those were the days.
Oh, Brett, I agree. Classic.
He was so pissed at me.
He just kept going, man. He was like, you know what? I'm really going to tell my true feelings here.
Just
gonna let it go.
back, you know.
He was pissed. We talked about it after.
Damn it, Molson.
You hug.
We hugged
You
it
gave
up.
him that big
Yeah.
hug. Oh, come on, man. We're bros. We're bros.
Kyle's an awesome guy. I met him at Dayton last
He
year.
is.
What an amazing
He
guy.
is.
So I like to push his buttons, but I have a lot of respect for him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
especially-
good people.
Yeah.
Enjoy hanging out.
I worked him today. I worked him today on 15 meters.
Oh, yeah?
And
He was out the other day.
Yeah, I think he was home. I think he was home,
Okay.
probably going through that remote or whatever he has. But still, it was fun. It was fun to work. And when you work Kyle, you don't want to turn it into some type of slapstick, please copy kind of a thing. You know.
I may have done that this weekend to him.
Well, that's just I did it during the Missouri QSO party with who? I said, if you got Kyle behind you, because I saw him going because they were streaming live, and I saw Kyle popping in. I wanted her to turn around and say, "Izzo says please copy," but she didn't.
Yeah.
So, but Izzo, just to go back there, the only thing that makes a difference is money talks, right?
It does.
Like
Granted.
at the end of the day, like you got your regional directors, there's 1,000 voices. Everybody's got a different opinion. So, like at the end of the day, money talks. If you don't like the organization, but we should have every right to criticize, and that's what I thought was a little bit weaselly about what he wrote. I was like, I was okay with the part about the naysayers and the assholes online about attacking operators, like in the POTA group and all that. But once he started to defend, like, don't criticize the ARL, it's like, no, now I want to criticize it even more. Like, don't be a public official if you don't want to take the heat. So, but
I think one of the things, whether it's the league or maybe it is the league, it is a tremendous balancing act. That you have, again, we know it. We have learned this over the years. What is our hobby? It's a huge rabbit hole that you have. You got the old timers who are dying on the hill. This is how we used to do it. Okay, in the good old days. You want to bring in some of the new stuff, STEM, robotics. I get it. Okay, I got my opinions about that. I think you're going to lose those kids for a while, but I think you got a better chance of them coming back because you introduced to them something maybe 20 years ago. Okay.
Mhm.
You get the guys like the four of us. Okay. We've been playing around different modes. It's such a, you're not going to make, first off, I want to say, don't even try making anybody happy. That's the first problem I see. Don't make anybody happy. Promote it. Promote it. Promote it.
Yep.
Somebody pushing stuff through YouTube, promote it. You know what I mean? Help them, the POTA. You know, lick your wounds regarding this POTA thing, if that's even an issue versus what it was, national park stuff. Lick your wounds, and who cares? Who cares? Stop it with this big swinging thing of we gotta be the first one to have it. No, promote it. I want my organization to promote it. You guys know how I feel about FT8. I don't like it. I don't agree with it so far. Maybe someday I will. Until then, promote it. Push it. Push it. Push it.
Mhm.
Get behind everything. Get behind the hobby, not just what you feel we should be doing. And I think that's something is I see that happening every once in a while, or maybe I see that at the local level. I'm not
Well,
sure. Didn't know anything
and
about
Good Game and I have talked about this. You know, if you have somebody that's interested in the hobby, don't just show them what you're interested in the hobby. You know, show them the hobby. If
Good
there's
point.
something they're interested in it, like DMR or something that you don't know, A, learn it, or B, find somebody that knows it and loves it and is willing to teach it.
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna
Help
I'm gonna
boost the hobby.
I'm gonna say something I've never shared before, and it's probably unpopular.
Probably.
But a bunch of grown men
I'll take that bet.
keep on harping on how do we reach the young kids. I'm sorry, but my 13-year-old son, he was interested in it. You know what he's more interested in? Girls, fishing, biking,
The vapors.
playing sports, having fun.
Mhm.
You know, and
Yeah.
so the reality
Perfume
is,
and
I
gasoline.
think there needs to be an avenue. There needs to be a way that kids who are interested can. But let's not harp on. There's I don't know. I just find it like every time I turn on something or read something as well, kids. And trust me, I think it's fantastic. I love the hobby. I'd love to see young people into the hobby. But the reality is, guys, what's the return on investment? I'm sorry, probably an unpopular opinion, but if you go spend, I don't know, $4 or $5 million as an organization in a year, and you reach maybe 50, 100 kids, don't tell me it's more than that. I don't believe it. I don't think the return on investment is really strong. And so but I'm not saying they're not worth the money, but come on, like they're going to have opportunity throughout their life to get involved in it. And obviously things like STEM, which is in their local school, done by whatever organization, maybe with the ARL, great. Introduce them to it. But, I just think that I have a lot of examples of how what it relates to, but probably not politically correct. But
Yeah.
I get it.
But Molson, you're right. You're 100% right. Show it to them. Have that avenue available. If they're interested, they'll come around.
Yeah.
If they're not, they're going to go do something else.
That's my take on it.
And eventually they're probably going to see hey, I remember that thing. Let me see what I can find about it.
It was cool. It was cool back then, and let's make it cool. Which is what I was saying before. And James and I share the same opinion. I have no factual data on this, guys, so don't send me fact checking. But I think there's a higher probability that if you introduce the kids to our hobby somewhere between 7 and 18, yes, they're going to go away, absolutely. But I think there's a higher probability they may come around when it's right for them somewhere in life.
Well, to answer me this, like what when the ISS goes, I would like to see the statistics of the ISS passes when the schools make the contacts. I'd like to know over the course of that how many kids have made contact with the ISS, and then what has been from that point, what has grown. Like how many of those people have gone further into the hobby or researched the hobby, because that's probably one of the most impactful experiences as an amateur that you can, like, okay, yeah, you can talk to somebody in Ohio, great. You're talking to someone in space, right? That's on a whole nother scale. That's where it becomes this like, wow, this is crazy. But, you know, and I'm not saying don't do outreach to kids. Obviously, I think like the STEM program, ARL has certain things, great. But it's just like our obsession is, listen, our club, we had a club meeting the other week, and they had done an activity in town. It was at they had a table at a youth conference, youth expo, all teenagers from the schools going and all that. The reality is when the kids were going through, it was just a couple of parents who talked to the table. Oh, this is what amateur radio is. Okay, cool. On. And of all the kids from the high school, and you know, it wasn't just a bunch of old farts. You had a 21-year-old or a 21-year-old vice president of the club was there. So, you know, like, it wasn't, you know, a bunch of 50-year-olds in beards and no hair. But, you know, so, you know, I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I'm just being like, let's be realistic. And at the same time, like, you know, like, listen, in today's world, disposable income is not huge. So if the kid has a hobby that's, you know, going to cost, I know you can get cheaper stuff, but, you know, we always say get the Baofeng, and then, okay, get the Zygu, and then get your antenna. Okay, so we're talking about $1,000, right? People have a hard time putting food on the table these days. So just some spare of the moment, like, oh, I'm interested in it, because all kids go through phases, right? They become interested, boom, they're done, right? That's a reality. So a smart parent, a parent who understands their kid and has discerned it and has experienced it before, it's not going to go put that money out in a pastime that could be short-lived. So there's a rarity to the families that do that or can afford to do that. That's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to bring it down. Don't get me wrong. I just think that, like, I'm kind of tired.
Well, think about it. No, you bring up a good point, though. No, it's reality. It's the reality. So why not embrace the reality, but still, I still believe in promote. Listen, as much as we're promoting this stuff to the young kids, why not promote it at the rest homes and the retirement homes to a group of people who maybe don't get a lot of social activity? You know what I mean?
Well,
why not? Why aren't we doing it on the other side of the spectrum?
So I introduced you guys to when I was on the show. I had encouraged you guys to go and subscribe to VA3EWV or VE3EWV Ernest. He's a local ham. He got his license. This guy is on fire for amateur radio. Okay, and so his mission right now, what he's trying to do, and he's doing so much. Oh, guys, I could tell you the story about this guy. I have so much respect for him. And his passion, his mission right now, or his ministry, is exactly that, Izzo. He wants to go, and he's already contacted 2 long-term care facilities, and where if there's ham radio operators who have been in, you know, who are there and they can't do it, he wants to facilitate getting them connected to Echolink. And we actually had the creator of Echolink did a club presentation to us last Thursday. And so, but this guy that's what he's doing. He's contacting long-term care facilities, and he's trying to make it happen on his own, without the club, without anybody else. He's doing it on his own. And so I take my hat off to that guy. That guy, oh, he's so you know how filming can, you know, amateur radio can get a little contentious, right? Like, can be cause some friction. So I won't tell you the whole story, but in order to not have to deal with people upset about recording stuff, he went from having his basic license, which is like technician, and he struggled. He struggled to go from basic to basic with honors, which got him HF privileges. And so he was so determined, he went and he wrote his advanced test so that he can buy his own repeater and do whatever the heck he wanted to on his own repeater. And if people stepped onto his repeater and he was recording, too bad, so sad. Yeah, that guy is I don't even have my advance. This guy is just like, screw it. You don't want me recording it? I'll get my own repeater. And then he's like,
There
shit,
you go.
I need to have advanced license to get a repeater. I'm going to write my
Good
advanced
on him.
license.
Good on him.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, this guy is amazing. So anyways, check him out. It's Ernest. I think it's VE3EWV. Subscribe. This guy is just, yeah, he's awesome. I helped him out last week get on HF for the first time at his home. So.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you. Paying it
The
forward.
VE3 or VA3? Yeah.
Just
VA3.
have
So
it.
Molson, what's going on at the house? I mean, it's we kid you, but I presume the Zamboni's been put away. The ice skating rink is no more. You probably got the cows grazing. Are they
I don't have
mating
cows this
soon? So
year.
you have some.
I don't have
no
this
cows.
year.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh my! Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh,
Take it easy this
what are you
year.
gonna do? What are you eating? Goose now? Is that
Yeah.
goose?
I'll fill my freezer with moose and deer at the end of the season. So that's what I'll
There you go.
do. Yeah. So, thanks, Steve, for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to go subscribe myself.
All right. So what do you have for antennas now up at the house? HF antennas.
Most of my antennas are down.
What else? What else you got?
Everything's down right now because I'm still doing work on the antennas. It is antenna season, but I did today. I the Aries before I got on the Coffee and Ham Radio's Aries. I think it is. I installed quickly outside. So unfortunately,
Nice.
so I have two coax. So I have my
Yep.
I have my distribution panel at that end of the house, and then out this side here, I have two coax going out, and those were put out so that I can have receive antennas in the winter using my paddock fencing, and they sat out with the connectors in the snow, and so I just hooked it up, and it's working, but my SWR is a little high, but I'm able to manage it. So maybe I'll make
Okay.
some contacts later on. So no, what does Scout 75 says? No cows. Molson's going to have to get long sleeve shirts to keep his arms warm now.
Hey, listen, you didn't get like a special inventory of the long gloves back in the fall, and now they're just sitting on its shelf, are they? I mean,
Well,
what are you going to do with all
Just
that
because
stuff?
he doesn't have cows there doesn't mean he doesn't have access to cows.
That is true.
Remember, he has friends that have farms that have cows.
Yeah, I've never put my arm anywhere there. I've never put my arm where the sun don't shine.
So you don't put your arm where you poop or eat, or what's that saying go? I don't want to say it around.
Don't crap where you eat.
Yeah, don't crap where you eat. Don't put your arm in where you don't eat.
Look at that. So Ryan, Kilo 5, Tango Alpha Romeo, he says, I love Ernest's drive home. Yeah, so he has a Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, join his group. He does a lot there. Sorry, not to bring him back up, but I really support this guy. On his Facebook page, check him out. And he live streams. He does his own nets. He does one on Thursday, and every day he's working in Ottawa, so he does the drive at 5 or drive after 5 on his way home, and he hits all the repeaters on the way. And yeah, so anyways, Ryan, that's awesome that you watch him. So good job. So
I was hoping
think-
Evan Barchuk was going to be here tonight to say hello to you.
He's
I don't know
looks
where
like
he
he's
is.
sitting at 134 subs now.
let's get him to 200.
Let's see if we can get him to 200
Absolutely.
before the night's out. Yeah.
At least, yeah, between 150 to 200. Yeah.
So
Kind of blow his mind.
Is Dairy Queen Blizzard season in for you?
it is.
I was
But
gonna say it was
I got to
95
cut
degrees
back
here.
on. Look, I got to cut back on the DQ, guys. I got to get into
What?
it.
Double chin? No.
I got to get my speedo body back in. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, dinner came up with that one. Oh, there's Evan.
Evan's there. There's Evan. You say his name like Beetlejuice. There he is.
Yep.
Well, look at this. He's even reminding us what time he came in. Thank you, Evan.
Been here since 7.
Being
Central or
punctual is,
Eastern?
yeah, being punctual is very important around here.
So what else is new, guys? Man, I feel so awkward.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's like I'm not into the traditional Tuesday night making jokes and making fun of people. So, or I'm not into the. I haven't made a rant in a long time. What can I rant about?
I was to say, I'm surprised you've been away for so long. You don't have a rant.
You mean there's nothing in politics up there?
I don't talk politics. There's a lot of politics, but
Okay.
we don't talk politics. Don't mix amateur radio and politics, please. I don't want this to sound like 7188 or 14310 or whatever it is.
Evan, thanks for the super chat.
Thank you, Evan. As
Throwing
always,
20 bucks
Evan
out
never disappoints. Look at this.
Douglas. I don't know if we can.
That's
highlight
funny.
that, but I love
That's
it.
funny, Douglas. That's funny.
I'll show that one. Daniel doesn't want more chins than Chinatown.
Gotta keep that
And for
next
those of you
day.
on the podcast, thanks for being out there, as well as those in green. Channel supporters that
That's
allow
right.
us to do this.
all of our Twitter X friends. And listen, for a minute, I'll play
17
Shane.
of them tonight.
Yeah, we have 136 watching here on YouTube, 17 on the X. So thank you, everybody.
Yep,
We
20 on
appreciate
the Twitter X now, and I'm showing 119 on YouTube. Got to
There you
give
go.
that.
Do the math.
That breaks it out for us.
Went to so disappointed with a flea market, amateur flea market, man.
Why? What
When
happened?
you go to a flea market,
Or what didn't?
Wow, when
or
it's
what,
all
or what didn't happen? What didn't happen?
when it's mostly like laptops and other shit that
Mm.
you're not really, I'm still looking for. You remember when you remember when you saw your wife for the first time and you're like,
Mhm.
Well, I guess I'm hoping for that experience when I walk into like a flea market and I see the radio or I see the cable and it's like,
Oh, I thought you were
mean-
looking for another wife. Another
No,
wife, and
no.
you were going to go to the flea
No,
market.
but
Can't
it's
afford
it's that feeling where it's like I need that in my life, right? And when you walk
Mhm.
around a flea market and you're just like, man, when everything looks like junk. Like, oh no,
It
the
could be
majority.
just around the corner, or it could be in the box below. You never know, or sitting on the tailgate behind the guy. You never know.
Well, now I
diamond
know.
in the rough. Diamond in the rough.
I'm seriously contemplating buying another HF rig, and it's between
Okay.
the. I'm actually thinking about going
What do
to
you
the
want?
Flex Radio. I was thinking about going to the Flex Radio, and I was driving back from my failed Beaver Fest. When I was driving back, when I turned around, I was listening to Kyle's. They had the. Hey, they had the.
It's never
they
a
had the-
failure. Wait.
they-
It's never a failure.
Listen, they had the Timmins Fur Trading Co. there, and they showed you how to stretch the beaver. So it was pretty cool. So
You're
for those
testing
of you
me.
who don't know,
Might be good.
you stretch it over a board, the
You
pelts.
stretch it over a board.
Anyways,
Well, that doesn't
get your mind out of the
everybody.
gutter. Why you take
What's
your
the
mind
board
out of
Doesn't
made of?
everybody?
What kind of board?
It's a wood board.
Wood, of course.
It's made out of wood.
And it would.
Where's beer snack?
When I was driving back, I was actually listening to
Hyperventilating.
Kyle's speculatory.
Does the beaver fur, after you
stream.
stretch it, does it eventually go back to its original form?
I don't know. I didn't go to get taught. I was going and I didn't make the lesson, so I don't know
got
how
you.
to stretch the beaver over the wood.
Maybe next
But
time.
so when I was driving back, I was actually listening to Kyle's speculation live stream about the new Flex, whatever product it is.
Therapy
And
right
so,
there. After.
I don't know.
Beaver.
Part of me
Listen to
wants to get
Kyle.
a Flex, but that might just derail it now that I have to wait for that. So we'll see.
Why does it have to be derailed? Or do you put the antenna up?
Well, it would suck if you go spend money on like the 6600 or whatever it is, and then like something else comes out that's not far, from the price.
Oh,
range,
stop
and
that!
it's
Stop it! Stop it!
The
Stop it!
FOMO.
Stop. Really? Listen, you're trying to talk yourself out of it, and that's ridiculous. I think
not.
that's ridiculous. Get your antenna up. Who cares what? Do you really have? Listen, you love your wife, right? You love your wife. When the new
Yeah.
model comes out, you're not gonna go after the new model. You're gonna stick with that girl. Same thing with the radio. The
Let's see
radio is the same thing.
I was gonna
Let's-
say, I think I
right?
know somebody selling a 6700. Just
Who?
I can hook you up.
Who? Kyle?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I
Does Kyle
think
want
Kyle.
the newer model?
No, actually, I think he's wanting another 6400 for the remote shack because they use it for contesting.
All right. Our
Oh,
buddy
so-
Eric is saying it right now. Get the 6400 and the 8x2 antenna switch. Look at this. See?
There you go.
We'll see. We'll see.
Molson, you live once.
I
Enjoy
wonder if I
it.
could make that 8x2 work with the ICOM.
Listen, my wife, I still have an IOU from my wife after I bought her that stackable or that stand-up washer and dryer there. So
Oh, nice. So you got to kick it up. It's a nice Gucci. Listen, we were talking about this a couple of shows ago. A Gucci pocketbook and or diamonds. Kick it up a little bit. The washer and the dryer is sort of like. That's when you buy an ICOM. That's when you buy the ICOM or a Yaesu.
listen, the washer and dryer is a service to our family, and the radio is a
Right.
service to the world. So they're in the same category.
Hey, there you go.
They
I like the way you
are,
think.
but they correct. But there's a difference between driving the Chevy Maverick and the Cadillac. Okay, that thus
Ford made the
washer
Maverick.
and the okay, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay, a nice Yaesu, a nice Kenwood, a nice ICOM. They're great radios. You're going to do it. You want to step up your game over here, you got to step up your game over here. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Jody. Yeah.
Matter of fact, doesn't Jim? Matter of fact, we learned last night on Nuggets. I think Gene wants a flex now too.
I think he's already got one.
Yeah,
Jim?
he's
Oh,
been
has a
flexing.
flex.
Oh, he had. Okay, then I misunderstood.
He bought
Molson,
that one.
don't
You
you
know,
have
they've
like
been
an-
discontinued twice. And
All right, Molson, don't you have seriously? Don't you have something like around the house to liquidate down like a tractor? If you're not going to have cows, what do you need a tractor for? Or what do you need two tractors for? Think about it. Don't you have a BMW? Sell the BMW. Or a minivan? Sell the minivan. Kids are on their own now. You're not hauling kids and car seats and hockey bags anymore. Those days, that phase is gone.
Dude,
That's why you have the Hummer.
I got 3 kids
What?
driving now. It's scary.
Sell the Hummer. I'd sell that Hummer.
No,
What
no.
do
If
you
he's
need a
got
Hummer
three,
for?
if he's got 3 kids driving, he needs it because they're just driving through stuff.
They're going to start driving the Hummer.
Exactly.
They can get their own. They can get their own paper route. They can go work at the Piggly Wiggly up there or whatever. Let's go. They can start saving for it. And of course, you help them. Meanwhile, Daddy
So
gets
we've
the
been-
flex.
So we've been going an hour and 10 minutes, and nobody has any grievances against you guys.
Nope.
of course not.
Mm.
They don't
We
listen
keep-
to us anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say either they don't listen to us or we keep them entertained. One of the two.
We are the #1 unrated show, Molson.
Unrated, so you don't know what your rating is, but it's number 1.
It's #1.
Something like that.
We have been altar boys. We have been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I get on?
I
Should I,
wouldn't
get on
go that
HF?
far.
We should make some contacts tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Throw on that non-flex radio.
See what happens when I don't have alcohol? It doesn't go crazy. It's like so calm.
You don't have alcohol? That's blasphemy.
I don't know. No alcohol. I don't see any blizzards tonight. Dairy Queen blizzards. I'm not even sure. You know, we're talking about Scooby Doo. That may not even be the real Molson. Rip off his mask right now.
Watch it be Shane.
Might it be Shane?
Well, we both have a similar hairstyles. That's for sure.
Yeah. The lack thereof.
Oh man, Douglas. The only grievance is against Daniel.
For not being here.
Yeah. Poor attendance. Yeah. Okay. Well, beer snacks in the same boat then.
Yeah, seriously. Let me turn on this radio. You guys talk amongst yourselves.
My noise floor on HF, even 2 meters, is going up. I can't figure out what it is. Nothing's
Do
changed
you
around
know,
the house.
Joe Brett, do you know, I think today's band conditions, the best band to be on was 15 meters.
Wow.
And I only made a couple nobody went to 15. Everybody was sitting on 20. And I'm like, hello, if 15 meters is your better band, why are you still sitting on 20?
Yeah.
Why? Kyle found me on 15. Kyle was beautiful.
If I wasn't stuck in the office, I would have.
I hear you.
Been chasing, but
Joe Brent only had 15 minutes. He had a small window. I get it.
Yep.
I mean, I only made 25. I shouldn't say I made 25 contacts. I was happy. I was in the sun, 76 degrees. Took off my shirt, got a little bit of a tan. Hey, man, it was a great day.
I guess it was 92 or 93 here today.
Ugh.
And I'm not looking forward to the summer.
Molson, what do you hear?
Uh-oh.
I heard the doorbell.
I heard the doorbell, too.
I hear the bell.
Open the door. He's going to kick it in.
He's going to kick it in. Those tiny baby shoes that swing from the mirror.
I want to know what the over/under is on the cow arming since you last left, Molson. 2,
Hello,
3,
Molson.
6.
None.
Kyle, he told us he doesn't have any, but he has a huge inventory of gloves that he's going to have to do something with.
Well, use them to smash hamburgers or something with them.
There you go.
Use them.
What's going on,
Use
Kyle?
them effectively. What's happening?
Not much, man.
I gotta get the stream up here so everyone can razz me in the comments here. How you been?
Mm-hmm. Good, man. Good. It's a tame night, man.
Yeah, I was watching as I was coming home to play tennis. It's like everyone's on downers on this stream.
I know. That's what happens when there's no alcohol.
Oh, that's too funny.
So, yeah. So I was, hey man, I liked your stream the other night of the Flex stream that you did. I thought that was great. A lot of fun.
We still don't know what it is. Everyone thinks that it's the new 64 and 66 series radios with the new Maestro on the front, but
okay,
I don't know. If that's it, I'm telling you, Flex, if that's your announcement, I'm going to be disappointed.
That with the meatloaf for dinner?
Yeah.
He was good though, because he came on with he's a Canadian. I forget his name, but he came on and he was totally chill with it because like the speculation, right?
Oh yeah,
fun.
So he likes it, Unlike some manufacturers that they get all in a tizzy about it.
They get in a tizzy because they're realizing that all their money they spent in R&D and research to build a product that none of their customers want. That's why they get in a tizzy.
Yeah.
When there's no expectation, right? It's easy to exceed it. But when people start talking and speculating, the expectation is high, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wah, wah, wah.
Well, I mean, he is on. So the nice thing about Flex is they understand social media, right? And they have a YouTube channel, and they post stuff, and Mike has got. I mean, there are probably Flex Radio and maybe Elecraft. I think they are the only manufacturers that actually get into social media forums and actually answer questions, right? And Flex has got their own forum that they run. They've got a couple of Facebook groups. They're on YouTube. Elecraft has got some Groups.io. If you go out to, and I'm sure that there's Groups.io for for Yesu and Kenwood. But do you see the reps posting stuff like
No.
daily in those groups? No.
I was gonna say, are the reps in there, and are
No.
they, sponsored by the company?
No, you're right. Right.
I'm on the ICOM 705 one, and it's a regeneration, Kyle. The same question that was asked 6 to 9 months ago is being asked, and here come the threads. Here come the threads of opinions.
I was gonna say, you're just on the POTA Facebook page again.
But I mean, the nice thing is, Flex does a really good job in social media, and they they promote. They get down about it because if you go on the Flex forums on Facebook, it's nothing but a beat up fest on Flex. I mean, but there's a lot of questions out there that get answered by the employees at Flex, and obviously, if they didn't care, they wouldn't run their own forums, right? And they wouldn't. That is a big step to run your own forums on your website about your product for other people to come and just rant about your product. I mean, they're doing it on your platform, right? So they police it pretty well, and I mean, there's a lot of good discussion on the Flex forums, but outside of the Flex website, it's it's like the POTA webpage. It's just freaking the Wild West.
You know what I think is the biggest hindrance to, well, not the biggest, but a hindrance with Flex Radio and people understanding it in little videos is when you, like the other day when you were talking, you guys were discussing what you were thinking about. For instance, there's terminology that's particular, from what I understand, to a Flex, that when we're talking about a Yesu or, different radios, there's terminology that is not commonly used, like for instance slices, right? Which obviously I know what it is, but it's not. So when somebody's it can be intimidating, and I equate it to when I was helping my son with his math, right? So he's in high school doing his algebra or whatever, and when you go on, when you get further up in math to Cal 2, it's harder sometimes to revert back to the basics. Right?
Yeah.
For you, it's like, what do you mean? Are you having a hard time? It's and you're skipping steps because you're more advanced. And so when you have to dumb it back down in the this is my, my, what do you call it? My little example. But when I have to dumb it down, and that word is maybe wrong, but when you go back to basics, you forget a lot of things, right? Like you're like, oh yeah, this is, how do we used to have to do it in high school? And so to some degree, when we're talking about a Flex radio or there's some terminology that is not just, clues in, everybody says, oh, that's what that means, And so I think, one of the things I would suggest in any videos is, or maybe make a video of like Flex terminology. I don't know, like, or maybe in the bottom, like a little dictionary, thing. But
I think that there's some of that stuff. You go and see your new radio. You're obviously there's a point where you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and buy the latest and greatest, right? So then it's like shopping for cars, right? You go out and you figure out what car you want.
True.
And then you go and test drive. Hopefully, you're going to go to a ham fest and say, hey, I'm going to go and test drive a bunch of radios. But some people don't have that luxury, right?
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of people, I'll run by the Flex booth, at a ham fest, and there's like, some 80-year-old OM that's like just totally lost. And you're just like, dude, this radio's not for you. Go get something else that you're going to love, turning the knobs and buttons, on. Because you can instantly tell. It's like interviewing kids for jobs. You could totally tell whenever one is worth two shits and one is just like, oh my God, you're just going to give me the bag and grocery story over and over and over again.
Kyle, it's funny you said that because I was at a ham fest a few years ago, and I remember an individual looking at a radio, and I'm going to say to myself, he's going to buy that thing, and instead of going through the manual, going on YouTube, doing his own research, he's going to go, ding, ding, ding. He's going to go on that group page. How do I do this? And then what? Some people are going to just slam him and say, it's in the manual. Or, it's
page 5, paragraph 4.
Right. Right. And
yes, there is some of that. And there are people that buy more advanced radios and they never use the advancements, right? They're just using it just to get on the air. And some of it is a little bit of, I just want to be cool and say that I have the latest and greatest radio, whatever that is. If that's the K4 from Elecraft, if that's that $10,000 radio from ICOM, whatever radio it is, a lot of people, I would say most people don't use their radio to the full effect, right? They turn it on, they get on the air, they adjust the AGC, they make sure that their mic is good, and they go. And that's what you do. And you kind of just leave the buttons wherever the buttons may fall, And then I've seen it time and time again whenever I go to multi-ops and contesting scenarios where a button will get out of whack, and we'll spend 15 minutes trying to figure out what's going on with that radio, because a lot of it is we don't use our radios to our full effect, and we're like, oh yeah, you can totally see that I've got a notch filter on here, and they're just like, I have no idea what a notch filter is, So it's almost like you're buying a Ferrari. You got these people that buy Ferraris, and all they do is they drive 35 miles an hour on Rodeo Drive with them,
or leave them parked in the garage.
Right. Which it's fine. I mean, if you got the money and you want to do that, more power to you. But go ahead.
You bring up a good point that the reality is for most operations in your home shack, you could turn on the radio and run, but that's where contesting, like adjusting the width and that's where you start to really explore. If you get into it, like your first contest, you might be like but then when when you start to get into it, you start to fine tune your radio and how you would adjust
absolutely.
The more you use your radio, the more you're going to tweak it, and the more you're going to figure out how to dial in your radio and how to dial in your antenna system to make the most of it. The greatest thing that you can do is take, let's say you work from home, for example, turn your radio on at 8 a.m. and listen to 20 meters throughout the day and see how it changes and how stations come in and out of you hearing them. And in the morning you might be working the East Coast, and then the afternoon you're working Midwest stations, if you live in the Midwest, and then in the evening you're working California, and learn how to. It's like listening, like Ward Silver says, you're listening to the world turns, right? Because 20 meters is a good band to just listen to during the day and hear stations come in and out based on where the sun is at, propagation, your antenna, how you're set up, all of these things, right? So anyway, I digress. I kept thinking
you're
about
absolutely right.
I kept on thinking about your calculus thing. I remember whenever I took Calc 1 and we learned how to do integrals, and it was the hardest thing ever, right? And then you get to Calc 2, and they show you how to do integrals the easy way, and you're just like, I spent a whole freaking year learning how to do integrals the hard way. F you.
Yeah. No, I my teacher, I remember when I did it in college, my teacher, I could barely understand a word she said. I don't know where she was from, but it was very difficult. And so, but yeah, Cal 1 and Cal 2 was college was fun.
What is? Can I ask? Listen, we're all friends here, and I don't want to sound ignorant. I never took calculus. Never thought of a need for it. Did I benefit by not? What is the benefit of calculus? What is it? What's the benefit of it?
And what you're doing?
Unless you're going to a specialized field, tell me in a specialized field it's important. I respect it, but for the general world of living, is it needed?
I mean, if you're going to be a if you're going to do anything in STEM, you're going to have to take calculus, right? I mean, calculus basically is a program that deals with like rates of change. That's basically what calculus is.
Thank you, Dennis.
Oh yeah, volume rates of change. There you go. I didn't even see that. It's like we're on the same level here. And then
I'm
once you get
using
into like
math in this-
Diffie-Q and linear algebra and matrix systems, that's whenever you're just like, what?
Oh.
What are you doing to my brain?
But for the reality, my kids, they'll say, "Dad, when am I gonna ever use this? When am I gonna ever use this?" And then with some of the stuff they're learning,
Right, that's
I'm
what
sure
I'm
we all
saying,
thought
Wilson.
that.
Dad, help me out.
But all your high school math, depending if you go into the trades, you need it. There's a lot of industries that utilize it. It comes down to obviously what your employment is, obviously, but there is some of the math. High school math, 100%. You'll use all of that when you get older if you go into certain jobs.
Wilson, my son is taking these AP classes, and that's one of them. And I pretty much think what my son is going to be doing. And I'm trying to figure out, but he says, Dad, I need it. I need it for college. And he says, I'll be ahead of the game. I won't have to take it in college. I'm taking it in high school, which already blows my mind already. We're taking college classes now in high school. Hey, listen, if that works, God bless you. A salute. I say, a salute.
I was doing the power of twos today. Like, what the?
What's the power
Crap.
of twos?
It's
I'm
two
arresting you
times
too,
every-
and I'm arresting you too.
I was actually doing decimals and hex and
Okay.
yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at me. Like, are you trying to make me a programmer or what? I
I
quit
was
that
gonna
class.
say, when you
Next-
start doing binary, let me know.
Yeah, next
Well, that's
thing
what it
is-
was. Yeah, it was a binary, the power of
Okay.
twos, and how to get the decimal and the hex. And
Yep.
they started throwing letters in there. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? Here we go again with the letters and math. This, jeez.
I don't want to hear about two trains leaving the station, one at 75 miles an hour.
All right, two cops walk into a Dunkin' Donuts.
That I can get.
No, it's
That I
Krispy
get.
Kreme. Get it right.
Krispy Kremes.
The powers of two for a cop is if we hit him with 2 batons instead of 1, it'll be more effective. If he
You hit him
gets
with
shot
a
with,
baton, I'll hit
if
him
he
with a
gets
taser.
shot with 2 bullets,
Right.
it'll stop him better than 1.
If you argue with me, that's 2 charges: disorderly and disrupting. But seriously, I really I don't sometimes understand. Maybe I wish there was like these introductory courses for the kids, but to start diving deep, I don't know.
So that's are you talking about like classes that there's intro classes all the time, like you're building up for example, for someone that is taking calc in their senior year, they're taking algebra, trigonometry, algebra 2, and then they get into calc, right? And then they do so it's like just a progression, right? It's not like they're just throwing them into the fire, right?
Yeah, I mean, I checked out, especially when it came to the sciences of biology. Once we dissected the earthworm, I'm like, why do we have to dissect the pig? I get it. Down the middle, here's this, or I get it. Okay, I get the basic understanding. I don't
Thank
know.
goodness. Thank goodness you're not the father of medicine.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not a brain surgeon. You just dissect it, you just make the incision, you just take the brains out,
Just give me the magic marker. We'll show where we have to start cutting. It's very simple. Give me the skill saw. Give me the black and decker.
Izzo, so I remember when Excel first came, Excel, right? Ooh. And and I remember the classes, you take the class, learn how to code it and all that. I'm like, this is stupid. We have calculators, A plus B equals, And then if you want to program CNCs, you need to know the formulas, the if variables. Like if you program, think about I don't know how they program the Tesla, but think about the logic behind something. If the sensor reads, engage brake, right? So that's all formula based, all that kind of stuff. If there's a photocell on a machine or a conveyor system that's running and it passes, it starts a sequence of events, right? And so all that type of stuff, or how to control the robotic arm that moves parts in a robotic assembly line, it's all based on formulas and obviously coordinates. And so like, and that's all really comes back down to Excel. So just, obviously, like when I took Cal 2, I was wanting to go into the medical field. And so like it was important that I had to do it. So like not every job is going to need it, and if you're not going to need it for what you want to do, you didn't take it. So like, like
right, but here's what happens. We all know somebody. We always come across this one person who uses Excel for not what it's meant for, because they want nice
like to write emails,
right? Or to use a box and put a text in a box. No,
yeah, text. Text doesn't go in an Excel.
It does. It goes.
There's
in
no
Microsoft
room for
Word.
text in Excel.
There isn't. You got to move the columns over, and even then,
can you imagine working with Izzo? You get like a spreadsheet. It's like, there's no text in Excel.
I've said that. Yes, I have. That's not too far from the truth, Kyle. That's not too far from the truth. It's like using the butter knife. Listen, we've always used. Wait, hold on, Molson. We've all used the butter knife for the screwdriver.
Where's the Izzo rant button? Where's the Izzo rant button?
But not all the time. You can't use the butter knife all the time for the screwdriver. I get it the one time, the MacGyver time, but not every time. That's why we have screwdrivers. Can we please use a screwdriver for what it's used for, what it's meant for?
So Izzo, can I just ask you a question?
I'm done. I'm just going to sit here now.
When you guys are at work and you get an Excel document and you're wondering what the fourth row of numbers represent, do you have to like have a map on like a Word document that sort of plans it out for you?
I have no idea what you're talking about. So there you go.
He hits print and hope it's legible when it comes out the printer.
Have you ever opened up Excel, Izzo?
Yes, I have. Yes, and I have used it appropriately. But because I have never had to go into the formulas and use it, or it's been already set up for me, I get it. Okay. When you talk about the emails, people get all excited when they get a job. What's the first thing they want to do with their emails? Set up the signatures, that auto signature, and they make it into a resume of who they are and this and that. That just makes my ass. Because now every time you get an email from them.
So, I used to work with a woman. We'll call her Shelly because that was her real name. And she used email like chat before we had chat, before we had Microsoft Chat and our Teams. And she would write, I would get up in the morning and I would check my email. She would get it in the morning at 7, and she was my telecom person on projects. And I would open my email, and there would be 40 emails from Shelly. And each one of them was a thought and our question that she had asked me. And I'd asked her multiple times, Shelly, take that hour, write down all your questions, and then write me one email and put all your questions in an email. And she couldn't grasp that concept. I kind of feel like Izzo is that type of employee.
No.
Email after email.
No, opposite. When you get the email from me, it's either going to be an email or there's now going to be the attachment that says, please see the attachment. And then I'm going to decide when I do my punch list, do I want to go bullets or do I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and et cetera, et cetera.
And all that's in Excel?
No. Shut up, you. Shut up. I'm going to kick the...
Per my last email.
Per my last
There's
email.
There's no text in Excel.
I'm going to kick the telephone book out from you.
Only 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s.
That's right.
I'll tell another story about Shelly. Shelly was a unique individual. Shelly went down and gambled in the Navajo, Oklahoma area, and she eventually won $500,000 and retired. But
nice.
Yeah.
Here we are laughing at her.
Well, I think that was all spent the next weekend back at the casino.
Who wants to be a Shelly?
Yeah, QVC.
Right.
QVC came to her door.
So Shelly, one weekend, we had to put in a phone system, and Shelly's like, I can't work that weekend. And I said, okay. She had twins. She had 2 twins. Their names were like Rachel and Kelsey. And she came in and said, I can't work that weekend because Kelsey's graduation is that weekend. And I'm like, Kelsey's graduation. What about Rachel? And she goes, oh, Rachel and Kelsey don't go to the same school. I'm just like, they're twins. They're the same age. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, do I want to know why they don't go to the same school? And
No.
and she
Those are
goes,
separate emails.
yeah, exactly, separate thought. And she goes, well, Kelsey goes to a special school. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't think anything of it. I dropped the subject. And then she said, well, whenever Kelsey was a junior in high school, we found out that she didn't know how to read. And I was just like, what? You had no idea that your daughter knew how to read? And she goes, nope, she was reading at a 3rd grade level. And I'm like,
Whoa.
oh my God. I'm like, America's public school system has totally failed us. At that point, I was just like, oh my God. Unbelievable how someone can get through high school and not know how to read and have
Did you send her one email that said how? And then did you send another email that said why? How did it happen?
you know how like you get some information about somebody and the circle of drugs and religion start to come back around and everything comes into play. Everything in the world itself whenever I found that out, and I'm like, now I know what's going on.
Kyle, you know what the worst is, Kyle, is when like somebody is doing a project for you and they have a question and your office is like the next one over, and instead of picking up the phone and dialing your extension and asking the 3-second question,
oh yeah,
They holler from down the hall.
no, they send you an email, and then I don't know, maybe you're driving a 2-hour distance and they send you an email 5 minutes after you leave. And they don't call you, and 2 hours later, when you get to your destination, you look at your emails and you call them and say, "Hey, what have you been doing the last 2 hours?" "Well, I've been stuck, so I've been waiting for your response."
Waiting
on
for
the
you.
email. I'm like,
like
It's the proper way.
We use like at work we have phones. They gave us phones at work, so I have a phone. I have an email account. I have a Teams account. I have a SharePoint set up for every single project. I have ServiceNow, which everyone puts in tickets to do stuff. Like we have all of these different ways of communication at work. and then whenever the great thing is whenever like someone says, "Oh, I texted you that information." Don't text me that information. Just put it in Teams. Put it in one place. Can I have one freaking place that all of my information about all my freaking projects are?
That's a rant right there. You're
Oh
absolutely
my
right. No,
God.
you're absolutely right.
I got introduced to that too. And what was funny during orientation, they said, out of all these 53 programs and places you have to make accounts, they have to be different passwords, and you can't write none of them down because that's against policy. It's like, what?
Well, at least we went
Okay.
to Microsoft
Single sign-on.
Authenticator. Yeah. We went to Sam. So
Oh, yeah. We got
we have
authenticators
one,
and
yeah.
some... I ain't got that phone with me out here, but to log into the VPN, I can't access, the storage folders they provide without using the VPN, and I can't get on the VPN without having the phone to get the passcode from the authenticator they use. Oh, and then we
What's
must
this
restart.
authenticator?
We must restart our computers every day at least once.
Oh.
Because they push out updates on Tuesdays. Update Tuesday.
Patch
Patch Tuesday.
Patch
Yep.
Tuesday.
Yeah. And
But a lot of them don't require, like, that's just bad administration where they should be saving them up and figure out which ones need to be I like restart my laptop once a month. Unless, actually, I restart my laptop whenever they tell me to restart my laptop.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
So this
I just-
authenticator thing, you're talking about, there's two things that I see. Check the box that says I'm not a robot.
No,
Or-
that's not
No.
The
authenticated.
or the 9 panels that say click each one that shows the traffic light.
No,
They're just
we're
downloading
talking about
all your
two-factor
cache.
authentication.
Okay.
those
You know,
Something you
well,
have
no.
and something you know.
Yeah,
Those-
something you
All right.
have and
I
something
use
you
the
know.
2-factor. All
those
right, I use
picture
the
buttons
2-factor.
and I'm not a robot. They're just pulling all your cash while you're doing that.
Interstellar
why.
says it's safer and the corporations have more control. So yeah, they hand me that cell phone and it's already set up. I'm like, oh, okay. And it's managed. and I've never had a managed phone before. I can't even download anything. I told the IT guys, like, come on, man, I can't even watch YouTube on this thing. I knew not to ask for the TikTok, but he's like, no, you will make phone calls, email, and text your organization through that phone.
Wow.
Okay.
You're under the supervision.
No personal
of an
business.
adult.
Oh yeah. If I lose it, all I gotta do is call them on my personal phone and say, hey, can you tell me where it's at? And they'll say, sure.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to say? Who's this? Who's this?
Yeah.
So we're gonna need your
authentication
authentication code.
I want a 2-factor for Joe Brett. Joe Brett is not the password.
So on my youngest son's phone, we have like that program where you can see what's happening and where they're at, right? And so when he goes fishing and he doesn't answer his phone, we barely use it, maybe once. Anyways, he came to work to my office the other day with his mom, and he's in my office. He's like, Dad, I really don't like this program you guys have on my phone. I go, oh yeah? And I look at my wife. I said, well, I guess you didn't tell him about the other feature. He goes, what feature? I said, oh, when we can turn your camera on without you knowing. He's like, oh, jeez.
Kid's gonna be paranoid for life.
He freaked out. I was like, no, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Tells you what he's been doing with that phone.
Andy and Chris, have a good night, man.
Yeah, Chris. Andy Cowley, 7-3.
Him till it hurts says put in a ticket to have Hamler installed. Well, that's funny because that's kind of the process. If there's an app that I want, I have to first articulate to the IT guys why it's useful for my job.
The business need, yep.
And then if they see that it's safe for the network, they will send it to my department director, and then if they approve it, then they'll click the button to have it installed.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Do you have your own personal phone?
Yeah, as soon as I got back home, I did. I told the wife, I said, I can't live like this. I can't get. It had Discord on it because they utilize that, but
now you know how your kids feel.
Really?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the world we live in now, right? With all these breaches and people putting personal crap on their personal or on their laptop. I mean, I understand it's a pain in the ass. I mean, I can't get to anything Google from my work laptop, and you know, whenever I've got something on my work laptop that I need, or I've got something on my personal drive that I need that will help me out at work, you know, I can't transfer it. They've locked down all the USBs, but I mean, I work in a corporation with 35,000 people, and it's a healthcare organization, right? I doubt that you want, you know, your herpes simplex 10 virus getting out with all of your other ailments. You know, it's like somebody stealing the info. And granted, the information that we have is all in the cloud. It's all in Epic, right? We don't put personal information on laptops because things happen. People were putting personal information on laptops, and you know, they were getting viruses and getting blackmailed. You know, so. I totally understand it. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
It's a total pain in the ass. I wish that they didn't have any security at all, but that's just the world we live in, right?
I get two laptops, clean laptop and a dirty laptop. The clean laptop you use for email and Teams meetings. The dirty laptop you just whatever.
That's the research and development laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then somebody said, "Oh yeah, quirky. Everyone just tell your bosses that you need a ham radio at work."
Hey,
I'm kind of on the scale of convincing them. Whenever my office gets ready, I articulated something.
Listen, man, when shit hits the fan and the police department needs help, the ham radio community's gonna be there, man.
So I'll put it short. I deal in a lot of data, and I asked them, you know, y'all deal with a lot of data on the internet, but what about RF data, point to points, mesh networks? Yeah. Dude, I blew their minds. So I'm like, I need a monitoring station.
I was gonna say, so mesh-tastic node going in, and
your 56056, man. Have fun in the park.
That's
Gotta
right.
get back to work.
Right.
You need a FISA warrant for that, Joe Brett.
Right. And Molson, don't worry. Joe has his Viz 3 ANSI 3 vest ready ready is ready. That had, and then you got to ask them:
hangs
is
on
this
the door.
apparel? Is this apparel approved? That's everything needs an approval. It's just, have we gotten to that really? Even apparel needs.
So I ain't even figured out the dress code for this, man. I was like, y'all don't give me no clothes. Oh, we got a meeting next week. How do I dress?
Shorts, Crocs, and a T-shirt.
Call it your Crocs.
Yeah, they
your
don't
Crocs
play that.
approved? Your Crocs are not approved.
After certain hours, it's okay. But
Okay. Joe Brett, do you have a Hawaiian shirt day?
I almost bought one, but we don't have that day yet. No,
Not yet.
no.
Hawaiian shirt and throw in $1, and this is how it all gets.
I was at the thrift. We was at the thrift store last weekend. I was getting me some new threads off the the donation rack, and I come across a couple of Hawaiian print shirts. And as soon as I seen them, I just think about almost every time you see a Hawaiian shirt in khakis, dude's carrying. Okay, that's just his cover shirt.
Call
And I was like, I gotta help him.
You're
Jim.
not wrong.
FEP FEP Labs has a shirt for you. FEP Labs will have a shirt for you. That's easy.
I got plenty of those shirts.
I think the code of the dress code for an amateur radio operator in the field should be black on black with the little FBI earpiece with the radio. You look like a bouncer. You look like a bouncer. Oh, come on. Oh, geez. What? Wear a yellow high vis? Listen, just look like a bouncer. Look
What
like
do you
an
think
everyday
this is?
guy,
What do you think
and
this
that's
is? Men in Black? What do you think we are? Men in Black?
I'm just thinking,
Nothing looks more desperate for attention than a high vis with the little hat with the call sign and the radio with the antenna sticking out the side. You don't look dorkier than that. So if you just very simple club call here, don't pretend like you're something important.
Everybody wears a high vis nowadays. It all depends what's on the back. What's on the back of the high vis. If you got those big words, amateur radio or something on the back, that I get. That you don't
80
need.
meter margin.
please copy police.
Yeah. Ham radio saves the world. No, we don't need that. Just put your viz on. I get why you have to wear it.
I was gonna say, Kyle, I would have loved to see the look on your face the other day when I said, "Please copy."
What? Where did you say it?
You were out in a POTA.
Oh,
Please copy 5'9" Sugar Charlie.
I get please copy all the time.
Yeah,
He don't even hear it no more.
Yeah, now it just goes one ear and right out the other. Yeah. Yep, it's.
So Kyle, you going to Dayton?
Yep, I'll be there. That is the plan. It's the plan. My got some family things going on that hopefully next week will pan out, and if they do, yes, I will be there. But the plan is to go. Yes.
I was gonna say, didn't you rent the party house?
Well, yeah, but doesn't mean that I have to be there.
Okay. Hey, as long as somebody can get the key.
Yeah, the door code. I'm gonna email
code.
the door code out, and everyone just shows up after 4.
So Hayden's not coming back down this year, is he?
Correct. No, couldn't get a plane ticket. That bill to get over here.
Oh.
I mean, to get to America is $1,800, and then to get from America into Dayton is another. Granted, you could fly, but to get to L.A. to Chicago, that's another $300 or $400. So right there, you're in $2,500 just to step foot on the soil, and then you got to get to Dayton, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's I would assume that I was going to go over to the Australian Open a couple years ago, whenever my cousin lived in Sydney. Granted, it's a little trek from Sydney to Melbourne, but I mean it was going to cost me, I think, like after hotel and tickets and all that. I mean, I was going to spend $5,000 just to be over there for a week.
That's why you buy a Flex. Yeah. See? Why you buy a Flex
Yeah.
and a camper,
But
a truck.
You know, it's only money. You can't take it with you.
It's all
Yeah.
right, but it's all
that.
how no seriously. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's all how you choose to spend your money. That's at the end of the day. That's what it is.
True.
I'm thinking that Square Drop's a little bit of a flex now too. So
Yeah, right. Well,
So how's that
No,
going
not
for you?
really. Yeah, Hank, I am giving a talk. So if I don't show up, they're just gonna have to find somebody to give the talk for me.
What's your
I don't know
talk
what to tell you.
on?
What?
What's your topic?
What's your
No,
talk
Brad.
on?
What's your topic?
Node-RED.
Oh, nice.
Top-
Yeah, I'm
The-
I'm in the AR the I guess the ARL has got a track. I don't know what they're doing. I got a note from somebody from the ARL telling me all of the stuff about it, and I kind of ignored it because they're like, "Oh, put this, use this template." I'm just like, "I already got a template. All right, the presentation's already done. It's going to be what it is." But yeah, there's like some ARL track on Friday and Saturday, and I'm part of my presentation is part of that ARRL track. So whatever. I think it's Friday
cool.
at 1 in conference room 3 or forum 3, I think is my forum.
And that's in what, building 12?
Well, I don't know what a building is. It is, to tell you the truth. All I know, it's in forum 3, whatever that is. So everyone will have to tune into my Dayton preview on Thursday.
There
We'll
you go.
figure out where my forum's at. How about that?
Are you gonna live stream your presentation?
No, because I have the presentation like 3 times on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Like if you don't see my presentation at Dayton, go watch it on my YouTube channel. It's the same presentation. So
That's cool.
Hammett Alert says ARL, your guide to contesting. Actually, you know what? David Minster, the CEO, he is going to do a very cool presentation. I have not seen it yet, but him and I have talked about it a couple of times. He is going to basically do gamification of ham radio at 3 p.m. in the same forum, I think in 3. So I am looking forward to that presentation. So
That'll be
A hot
interesting.
topic.
Oh, so this is, so that's a sort of like a derivative of the video you did, or like an offshoot of that.
I don't know. I don't know if he got inspired by my rant on W1DED and he decided to do it, or he had this in the hopper for a while. I mean, him and I have been talking about gamification of ham radio for years. So I don't think that it's anything new. Maybe it sparked another interest whenever he saw my video. But yeah, he sent me an email. It was just like, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let these curmudgeons get you down.
There you go.
Play poker on FT8? What?
Yeah, I mean, all of that stuff. Things that are typically not done outside of, you got, and POTA is one of those things that are, FT8 and POTA, right, are reviving ham radio. People are going out and doing more POTA. They're getting on FT8, whatever the case may be. But, the norm of contesting and DXing and rag chewing and nets and repeater work and 2 meters and sporadic-y and all of these things, that's great. But what has been, we need something else. So
Yeah.
Why not do poker on HF? Why not?
There you go. Yeah.
And y'all have that radio sport conversation has been really busy. I haven't even looked at it, but
Yeah.
a lot of ideas sparking off the walls.
The problem.
A lot of people were upset about the idea of changing the process for submitting your logs, right?
Oh yeah.
And,
I mean,
what-
they're all gonna get bent out of shape on anything.
But yeah, but listen, man, like nobody wants to see the unofficial results change at 3:00 in the morning after you go to bed. So that's if I'm being sarcastic. That's a joke, man.
Right, but I mean-
Everybody took that
Well, you're
way
also
too
right.
seriously.
They go to bed at 3:00 in the morning? No, they wait for the official results at 4:00 in the morning.
No, but like if people could still send it in by email, and you'll have the unofficial results, and there'll be nothing better than an upset.
No,
An upset.
no. We're real-time results. I want to know 2 seconds after the contest is done how I did.
Yeah.
I don't accept anything less.
I want to know while the contest is going how I'm doing.
Yeah, but the reality is that the big contesters who usually win are in the top, say, 100. They have no problem with the automating or to do it that way. That's the reality. It's the guys
what?
who do 50 contacts or causing who are upset about it.
That's
true.
That's why, yeah, I mean that's
You're
that's
right.
why we should
You're
have
absolutely
these
right.
hour sprints and these 48-hour contests where you can win a sprint. If you just want to sit down for an hour, let me sit down. Let me have some type of program that I can join, like in a virtual room, and then just like you do in your Diablo or whatever the cool game is, you go into a room and you wait for players to join the room, and then you play with those players, right? Same thing with ham radio.
I like it.
I like that idea.
Yeah, there's a contest I done probably, I don't know, a year or two ago, the Maidenhead Mayhem.
Yeah.
And it's constantly changing. And one of my suggestions was, instead of being all week long, like still have it a week, but break it down into segments, kind of like you were talking about. So I think they was going to try that next way around, but
There's a ton of things that we can do to keep the old contests intact, so some of these OMs don't stroke out, right?
yeah.
There you go.
So,
I agree.
but yeah, innovating, making new contests and playing poker, doing whatever, bingo, poker, Uno, Battleship, all of these, you could take some type of ham radio aspect and dial that into Battleship, right? And do that,
That'd be cool.
You sunk my battleship.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole slew of things, and one of the other issues that I'm having is people are like looking to me to lead all this stuff, and I'm like, I have no time. Someone else needs to.
That's because you have so many great ideas.
Well, I
would
can
look
give
at
you
you.
the idea. You guys can go ahead and run. I get at least one DM a day on somebody's like, hey, I had this idea. You want to help me work on it? I'm like, no, I don't.
No,
You
absolutely.
can run
I
with
like
this.
where chat's going here. Instead of
Yeah.
sinking battleships, icons and
Yeah.
Yezus and flexes. And,
There you go.
Yeah.
See, this is go put those ideas in the ham radio 2.0 or the radio sports Discord. Yeah, all you guys that have all the ideas, you should
Is
go
that
into the radio sport Discord and start putting the ideas.
is
on
that an
paper.
open invitation Discord?
Yeah,
I don't even remember how I got there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Anybody can go and make an invite. Oh,
grabbing
here,
that
I'll
right now.
do an invite.
I'm trying, but I've got 32 updates.
Hang on. Everyone, just hang on. Don't do anything dumb.
Time out.
All right,
Don't
I'm gonna.
click buttons.
Got it.
There you go. There's.
So are you
there
working
you
on
go.
a prototype? Or are you working on like a
No,
beta?
no, I don't have any time. Don't ask me.
Kyle, I've got some Node-RED flows I need to work.
No, I don't have any time. Go to the group's IO and ask the question.
Just send him an email. He wants
I
all
am-
his
I am the-
information in one place.
I am the greatest support person. No, call the help desk. I have no time for your question in chat or in chat or in person. Go call the help
I
desk.
can't send it to you in Teams. I
No.
can't ask the question in Teams.
Go call the help desk.
Do you want it in an email?
I think I
I'll
have your
stick that
number. I
email
may
up
just
your ass
text
and
you.
Yeah. Oh, you never text me back because you asked me a support question. I don't do support. Sorry, I don't do
You're not.
support anymore.
You're not Node-RED support. Dang it.
No. I'm not support for anything. The only thing I'm support for is my parents whenever they screw up the computer.
Yeah.
That's why mom has you come over, cooks you dinner.
Oh my god, that's a painful process. Like I just don't understand how Yahoo can be their default search engine every time I go over there. I just don't understand. Like I delete everything. I delete everything from their computer. It's like a brand new computer, and I come over. I'm just like, how did it get this bad?
There's what's the program that sets Yahoo as the default?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like Adobe or something. when you download Adobe, they lock you into Yahoo as the default search. Yeah.
Their computer's just filled with internet porn and gambling, just like that congressman. The internet's just, tubes of internet gaming and porn.
Is there anything else on the internet?
There's this.
Oh, this is true. Oh yeah, we are live, aren't we? Speaking of live, we're 2 hours in, boys.
I gotta go. I gotta eat dinner, man.
Oh jeez. It's 9.
What do you eat for dinner at 9 o'clock?
Well, I got a text from Izzo. You got to come on Clubhouse today, and so I played tennis until 7. When
I
came
just
home,
said if you want, don't see. This is how it gets changed. See, this is the problem with ham radio.
Came home.
This
I
is
even
what's
mowed the
ruining
grass.
ham radio.
I mowed the grass, came in, took a shower, and got on here and was rapping with you guys.
I was gonna say, yeah, you hit him on CW, and he actually answered it. So, well, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, Kyle.
Yeah, good to see you too, Molson. We'll you'll have to give me a call and we'll catch up.
Sounds good. That's not gonna happen.
Molson has called me multiple times.
Yeah.
But did you? But did you answer?
Does it always start out with, "Hey Kyle, are you mad at me?"
No.
Do you forgive me?
Molson and I have talked shop many times about different stuff.
He's a good talker. We like Molson. Honored to have him.
I feel that tonight was off, and I think it was, but it's all right. It was just good to be on, hang out with you guys. We don't talk that much, since I was off the show. We haven't talked that much, guys. I feel neglected. I feel,
we didn't kick you out of the chat,
So
yeah, it says the one that comes in the chat every other Tuesday night. Says a few things.
For those listening on the podcast, Molson calls Kyle, and Kyle gets the automated message. Will you accept a collect call from the Ontario Provincial Remand Center?
Listen, man, that's no joke. Remember high school? I don't know if you guys had it, but you wanted to call your parents, and it was like,
oh yeah,
I didn't have money, so you do a collect call.
10,
and then
10,
when it
3,
says,
2, 1.
Say your name now, Mom. I'm going over to Nick's house tonight. I'll be home at 5. Hang up, or
yep.
or beep.
Dang.
You were too long. Re-record your message.
Right. Listen, 10 cents was 10 cents back then. That was
That's right.
You know what I mean.
Bob, we had a baby. It's a boy. That brings back memories for a few of you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for having me on tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Thanks for hanging out. Kyle, what do you got coming up?
Thursday night, Dayton Hamvention stream. So 8 p.m. Central. And then going to be gone this weekend for Mother's Day. Everyone should go get their mother some flowers or call their mother on Mother's Day. And then back on Monday with another CW Operators Roundtable. Don't know what the topic is. Haven't even gotten that far in life yet. So
okay,
done.
Look at this
that.
shit. 2 hours in and he finally shows up.
Yeah, is he driving?
Hey,
a
guys.
truck?
125 people have been waiting for you.
I'm sorry. I tried. And I'm hooked up to Apple CarPlay, so I have no idea how this sounds.
It's not
Sounds
bad.
all right.
Okay. Well, I got whooped.
Oh.
Too much information.
It was too hot today. I'm not ready for this. I haven't conditioned myself for summertime yet. And it was 90, I think it was 93, where we were at. So.
Were you out playing with the balloon or were you actually doing POTA?
No, I was out playing with we have a brand spanking new balloon that was unveiled tonight.
Okay.
So I posted it in the Discord.
But isn't 93 like not very warm for Texas?
No, it's not. It's the stupid humidity that was along with it. So it's like it's like trying to mess around in an easy bake oven.
Well, wait till you get to the big oven.
Yeah, right.
I'm not excited about that. I'm here to tell you, I'm not excited for summertime.
But you need
You
to
had shown
to
us
move
this
to.
one before.
Hey, there
gosh,
she
look at that.
is.
You actually got it up.
There
you
she
go.
is.
What
her name
happened to the balloon of the fat lady's butt?
Fat lady's butt. What?
That was a different balloon, Kyle.
Oh, different balloon. Oh, I thought that was
Yeah.
Shane's balloon.
No, the balloon police. The balloon police made him take that one down. It was inappropriate.
I still would like to see somebody.
It offended somebody.
I'd still like to see somebody take a sex doll and fill it with helium and just see what it looks like going flying through the air.
It's just.
Please,
big
amateurs.
sex-
That's
sex
amateurs.
toy.
We did that. We did that a long time ago. That's amateur. Come on.
Mommy, what's that balloon? Oh, it's a
I think
big
it's
finger. Why is there a finger floating in the sky, Mommy?
Why is that balloon naked? She sure does have a big smile on her face.
Goodness.
Did you miss me?
Yes.
Why
yes, we did.
Why is Daddy's girlfriend up in the sky?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I had to
On
say
that
it.
note, we gotta go.
On that note, I gotta go.
Anyway, so tonight we unveiled. Her name is Ziggy, and she is the latest of the special shaped balloons that we're putting together. We have 3 more to build at some point, but she was the first.
So I was right. Shane was out playing with big balloons,
Yes.
not balls like y'all thought.
Oh dear God.
They thought you was playing baseball or something, watching baseball.
No, I was. Well, I mean, the game the Rangers played today, but they were over way early.
So what? How do they determine so the special shaped balloons there? They just have all kinds of characters. People are like, "Hey, I want this character." That's it, or is there
Pretty much, yeah. So we used
to market to kids. What is it for?
No, it's just like if you ever go to, or if you Google the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta and look up the Special Shapes Rodeo.
Yeah.
People build these custom. The main attraction for building them is the festivals pay top dollar for special shapes because everybody and their dog has a round balloon.
Yeah.
But the special shapes are a little more rare, and we wanted another special shape, and because the special shapes that we had were all ginormous, like 150 to 200,000 cubic feet, and that's too much to handle. It takes a crew of like 20. We came up with the idea of these smaller shapes. Like the balloon that I normally fly is 90,000 cubic feet, and Ziggy is 67,000 cubic feet. So she's tiny compared to balloons. So 4 people can handle her, and she only weighs like 200 pounds versus the 300 pounds, or in the case of Spider Pig, it's like 600 pounds.
Is this all being done using calculus? No, he's using calculus for this. You know that, guys. See, this is the importance, kids. Remember what we were talking about earlier in the show? This is why you take your calculus classes, right here. This is the reason.
It's not calculus.
Well,
a cubic feet.
Don't use Excel. Don't use Excel to figure it out.
Hey, Mike, special shape, buddy. Special shape all day long. That's better than a double. If it's not, you're a quitter.
So Shane, did you get your full license to for ballooning yet?
I am 5 flights away.
Nice.
Okay.
Excellent.
I've met all the. I have all the time requirements, and I'm missing 2. Technically, I need 2 flights to have the qualification, but I'm not comfortable with 2 more flights to go take the check ride. I would like to have a couple of extra flights. So 5 flights, I should have it done. Hopefully, we're going to try to have it done before August because we got invited to a festival and we don't have enough pilots.
No.
So they had asked me if I could bring Ziggy, and I would be the one that would take care of Ziggy at the festival. So.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you towing
Ziggy's
Ziggy
last
right
name
now?
Stardust?
I don't have Ziggy with me. No, she's at
that's
my instructor's house.
I'll say.
But I do
pull
have
over,
my
pull
burner
over.
now.
Really? Pull over. Fire it up. Let's see it.
I think I might get the cops called on me. Something about driving through town with a 25-foot flame coming out of the back of a Toyota RAV4 might get people's attention.
It will draw attention.
Just don't do it under a bridge.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry, too soon.
Or next to a bar.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt y'all's stuff. I honestly was trying to make it home to jump in for the last hour, but we got tied up doing a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah, it's all good.
sorry I missed it. I did catch the first few minutes of the show.
All right.
Okay.
Before we
Shane,
got,
are you going to live
music.
stream your check ride?
I can't live stream the check ride, but I do plan on live streaming after I get my license. I don't want to mess anything up before I get my license. So after I get my license, I'll probably live stream something.
There you go.
Because I need to have another pilot if I'm going to do a live stream, because I want to concentrate on the live stream and not have to fly the balloon.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to do
Flying's overrated.
that falling that gets that the sudden
It's that
impact.
sudden
at the
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the falling that kills you. It's the impact.
Yeah, it's the impact. But no, I'd like to do some more ham radio out of the balloon again. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.
I'll fly my ass out to Texas.
Molson,
Let's do it.
sorry I missed you, man.
No worries, man. It's good to see you.
So, yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Cool.
mute myself. You guys want to wrap it up? I'll hang out for a couple minutes. I'm almost home.
All right. Izzo, what you got coming up?
I wanted to do POTA tomorrow because I'm off, but they're talking rain, so I need a haircut. So I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. That's all I know. After that, whatever happens, happens. So,
Good deal.
that's it for me.
I need to compliment Joe Brett on that video. Holy cow! Good job,
Right?
man.
Look what
It's all crisp and clean and zoomed in.
It's a little close. It's a little much, Joe.
It's a lot of
Joe- Little Joe in your face.
We got a lot
Should've
of JB going on here tonight.
should have seen it before I moved the camera back. Here, is that better? Does that make you more comfortable?
It's so much better. Now
That
the-
new lens
was gonna
does
say.
add 6 dB. That adds 6 dB right there.
The color's definitely different there too.
Yeah, the skin
That's much
tones.
better.
I can't. I can't get the skin tone with that camera. So
I'm just giving you a hard time. What you get coming up, brother?
me?
Yeah.
You're asking me? It's my turn.
It's your
Well,
turn.
I have been a little distracted throughout the show. Sorry for not talking a lot. I know that's unusual, but I have finally dove into this freaking Meshtastic crap people keep talking about. You know, I haven't bought it because ain't nobody in Mississippi gonna be using it. But then
Maybe Alabama.
Ain't good time for that.
But then, you know, if you don't build it, they ain't gonna come, right?
That's right.
I happened to come across. I was watching Josh's video the other day about war driving, and I was kind of looking around at the map, and I'd be dang it gum if ain't somebody around here that's done at least one pass in the last couple of years. War driving some Wi-Fi. So I was like, well, if they doing that, they may talk on that Meshtastic stuff there. And so anyway, got that coming in. So I was looking up some 3D files. And also, Mississippi has finally done a push. They've been talking about it for a couple of years. Like, so every now and then we'll do some groups at the parks and do POTA, of course.
Yep.
And some of the folks from the state park would come up to us and be like, hey, next time y'all do a big group, let us know. We want to put it in the newsletter, you know, to let campers and people know, so bring more attention. And then they started like, why don't we do a whole statewide thing?
There you
go. So finally a group of folks have got together and initiated this. So May the 18th, they're trying to get as many parts of Mississippi on there. Like you've heard people do trails and stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, the 18th, I'll be at an event out of the state. I won't be able to participate in Mississippi. So anyway, I recorded a video tonight just to kind of help spread that, because they're doing a lot of Facebook sharing, but not everybody's using Facebook, right? So
That's all right.
I said, I'll throw out a little video for them to share. So
There you go.
and other than that, I've got a couple antennas and projects that I've been recording that'll come out sometime. That's it. I'll try to show back up next Tuesday.
There you
Oh, I will be out of town Tuesday. But yeah, yeah.
StreamYard makes an app for that.
There's an app for
A
that.
very good app at that.
Yeah, we got this thing till like 8 o'clock too. So.
As long as there's not alcohol involved.
Your Tuesday stream next week is coming unraveled already.
Yeah.
Shane, you can't cancel next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm not coming back 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't promise that because if it's flying weather, I'm going flying. I got to get this license done.
Yeah. Likely.
I'll do the show from the balloon.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, 73, everybody.
Yep.
Bye, guys. 73.
Bye. See
Where's
ya.
that outro?
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. Clubhouse just got down.